41 Jahre alt, ein echter Routinier. 2007 stand er schon im Finale der UK Open. Aktuell ist er die Nummer 33 der Welt. Heißen wir ihn herzlich willkommen, den Dutch Destroyer Vincent van der Voort. Sein Kontrahent kommt aus Australien, ist 50 Jahre alt und stand heuer bereits im Finale beim German Darts Grand Prix und im Halbfinale bei den Czech Open und beim Brisbane Masters. Er ist aktuell die Nummer 11 der Welt. Hier ist in Schwechat The Wizard, Simon Whitlock!
You come from a land down under, where men go and men wonder. Can't you hear the thunder? You gotta run, you gotta take cover. I'm ready from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4" and full of muscle. I said, do you speak my language? Smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said, I come from a land down under.
He'd be facing Vincent van der Voort in his opening match here at the Austrian Darts Championship. His eyes may well have lit up. He may have even cast his mind back to this venue 2 years ago when these two met on this stage in the second round of the Austrian Darts Open. And it was Whitlock who ran out a very comfortable winner by 6 legs to 1. Whitlock has won 9 of their previous 10 encounters. He has got something of a hold over Vincent van der Voort. And just given the way that Simon Whitlock has been going about his business, especially on the European tour this year, there is maybe, as he would say, still plenty of life in this old dog just yet. All the talk yesterday of teenage sensations, but so far today it's all about the elder statesman, I suppose, of the European Tour. We had the 55-year-old Steve Beaton in action against the 47-year-old James Wilson in the opener. These two have a combined age of 93. Whitlock, 50 years old, picking up his darts off the floor and looking to extend what has been a fairly productive time of it on the European stage so far in 2019. Dan Dawson having a breather alongside me, Rob Malarkey, for this one.
Simon to throw first. Game on.
It's Guten Tag, Paul Nicholson.
Guten Tag, Mr. Malarkey. And it was quite an apt segue for you earlier when you were talking about new sensations, because that was Simon Whitlock's first walk-on song. New Sensation by INXS.
96.
What a tune.
And I'm looking forward to that drama documentary film about Michael Hutchins that's on the way very shortly as well.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that off the air. I didn't know about that.
100.
Well worth a watch.
Indeed. Well, this is a big game for Vincent van der Voort, because not only does he want to get his hands on this title in Austria again, he wants to get himself to Göttingen for the European Championship, as we see the first 180 from Whitlock. Now, in order for Vincent to do that, this game is paramount. He's going to have to snap that streak against Whitlock, because before this weekend, Vincent van der Voort was on £10,000 on the Order of Merit for the European Championships. Now, we're estimating somewhere in the region of 13,000 will give you a chance of sneaking a spot. So by getting 2,000 more ranking points, or 2,000 more pounds this weekend guaranteed, he's on 12,000. However, he is not qualified for Mannheim next week. He is not qualified for Riesa the week after that. That now puts pressure on this game, this tournament, and qualifying for Gibraltar. So if he doesn't win this game or get to Gibraltar, he's not going to make
Yeah, pretty sure that will be at the back of Vincent van der Voort's mind right now as well as he enters this one. Had a 6-4 win against Justin Pipe yesterday.
A gutsy play that from Whitlock, because he was banking on Van der Voort not hitting that 161, and he was right.
Yeah, the gamble has paid off, although it's only worth its significance if Whitlock can find this double 16, which he does. But yeah, going back to Vincent van der Voort yesterday, I mean, that was a tough assignment for the opener. There were certainly easier assignments elsewhere, if you like, but 6-4 the win against Pipe, 94 average. Very good on the finishing, I thought, yesterday. Van der Voort, 6 out of 11 on the doubles, and he finished it off very nicely as well with tops.
Yeah, it always makes dinner taste a little bit sweeter.
So maybe he was 7 out of 11. We always have this debate when you finish on tops. Are you 6 from 11 or are you 7 from 11?
Well, it goes back to that Ricky Evans game earlier in the season, doesn't it, where he was 9 from 6 because he got 3 double finishes in the match.
100.
I'm all for that. You know, there's people out there, the real cynics, who don't believe anything above 100%. Well, darts may be able to snap that, because if you hit more doubles than just the ones you finish on, the supporting doubles as well,
95.
I think they should count, because you are, after all, going for the double. It works the other way as well, so if you go for a double shot and you miss one, I think you should go on your count.
39.
Now, we talked about the importance of the game for Vinny in relation to the next couple of events. Well, Whitlock is number 14 seed here, but he's had to qualify for the next batch.
57.
He got through to Mannheim, but he didn't get through to Riesa, so he's going to be having a week off in the middle of September. And to be honest with you, I think that's a bit of a blessing, because he's been very busy over the last few weeks on the World Series.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, we touched upon this yesterday, but I suppose for players like Whitlock today, much depends on their state of well-being after the World Series. It was a bit of a mixed bag of disappointment in the main for Whitlock.
96.
Because his biggest payday down on was for his run to the semis in Brisbane, where he was beaten by Damon Hetner in the semi-finals. I mean, what a tournament that was, by the way. Hetner beating
105.
Wade, Anderson, Whitlock, and Ross Cross.
It was rather immense. And I love the fact that on the darts show, I actually called that Damon Hetner was going to do something big about a week previous to that. So I was made to look like a bit of a genius, but the wizard was not up to the genius work of 160 checker there. He could only
20.
approach it to 60, and Van der Voort to equalise needs double 10.
Yeah, these are the sorts of opportunities that Van der Voort cannot afford to pass up today.
15.
And the arms outstretched, exasperation, the look on the face of Vincent van der Voort. Whitlock has the door opened for a break of throw and a 2-0 lead. Great marker. Oh, he's gone the other side. Double 15.
Team shot on the second leg, Simon Whitlock.
By hook or by crook, I suppose.
Well,
mission accomplished.
We've just had the debate about the doubles there. We said 2 doubles there, but one of them was accidental.
Now, does that count?
No, because he wasn't
he missed his target.
Actually going for the double 5. He wasn't going to go double 5, double 15. If he was doing that, I think we'd have to have a word with Simon.
100.
But one thing we do know, and have known since the middle of the year, is that he's got some pain in his right arm, has Simon. He's got that stress tape, which does work very, very well. I had it on my shoulder
96.
in 2017. It takes the pressure and the pain away a little bit, and it's whatever works. He is not ashamed to try everything to make sure that he is primed for this kind of battle.
Yeah, he looks like he might be struggling with a bit of back pain as well. Just doesn't seem to be moving too freely, and just when one of his flights drops on the floor, he needed a bit of assistance from the scorer on stage.
Well, you've got to remember, Simon, he is 50 years old now, and secondly, he spent an awful lot of time on planes recently. So when you're doing this kind of travelling, and this is one of the understated things of people who do this kind of job, travelling the world playing darts or any sport, got to do your exercise when you're on a plane for 15, 16 hours. It's very important, because it could turn into something nasty.
Just another quick word about Whitlock's performance down under prior to that defeat by Damon Hetner in the semi-finals in Brisbane. He beat Kyle Anderson 8-0 that day. That was a strange watch, I've got to say.
Yeah, I agree. And Kyle said on Twitter after that match that he just didn't turn up. He couldn't figure it out.
I mean, there is this thing with Anderson. He's made no secret of the fact that he does look up to Whitlock as the granddaddy of Australian darts, the trailblazer, if you like, for Australian darts. And there is this admiration for what he's done, everything he's achieved.
He's on the
I
third
know they had
leg,
that
Simon
fairly
Whitlock.
heated encounter a couple of years ago on the World Series stage.
Game on.
But there is clearly, I think, a lot of respect there.
I think there is. There's no question in my mind that Simon Whitlock is the most important
60.
and most talented Australian dart player of all time. And that's no disrespect to the likes of Terry O'Day, Russell Stewart, who #2 in the world at one point in the 80s, can't be forgotten. And Tony David, of course, who is a
100.
Lakeside champion. But Simon Whitlock has been doing it for a very long time and doing it brilliantly. Every country needs a flag bearer, and he has been holding that flag a very long time. And if you can have someone like that, then darts is going to grow in that country. And that's why we're looking at Adam Gaulas now from the Czech Republic to help Karel Sedlacek and Pavel Yerkel along the way to maybe have this Czech Republic boom that we're waiting for.
I was just going to say, I mean, you know Australia very well, but I mean, Australia's got no shortage of sporting talent wherever you turn, you know, rugby especially, cricket, golf, tennis, and even footballers as well. Where does he rank in terms of public perception, public opinion? Is he revered? Is he acknowledged in the same way as, say,
91.
Smith the cricketer, for example?
I would say he is a very large cult hero, because darts down under is seen as a very big thing now, and the fact that he's been over here doing it the whole time, he's got the respect of a lot of sports stars, and everybody knows him. He's well known by the cricketers. Great switch from Whitlock to lead double 18, and that 118 has just shrunk for Van der Voort.
118.
Yeah, this is a tough task for Vincent van der Voort, but he's going the right way about it here. He was a little bit close to the edge there, though, with that single 18, but he's looking at tops, and he's just nudged the wire. And now Whitlock steps in
36.
and may well hoover up for a 4-0 lead and a second breaker throw.
Heard the wire clip there. He's going for that dart to bounce it in. Oh, and how was that stayed out?
The vision you require 40.
Jack and Jill, well. Double 10. And Van der Voort hooks that one in. Gets himself on the board. And stops a potential whitewash. And I said earlier in the match that there was a bit of discomfort for Whitlock potentially. But there's a little stretch there from the tall Van der Voort, who has had back issues himself in the last few years. It's funny, isn't it, that Whitlock has got such a great record against Van der Voort, but his record against Vincent's best bud is abysmal.
100.
Yeah, that meeting in Austria I mentioned, by the way, was their most recent meeting as well. That was in June of 2017. Their first encounter was in November of 2010 in the Players' Championship, a quarter-final of a Players' Championship event in Derby, when Derby was on the Pro Tour agenda. And Whitlock won that one 6-1 as well.
We've, of course, spent a bit of time with Stephen Bunting after his game last night. He was telling us some funny stories, wasn't he? Here's a good one for you about Derby. Colin Osborne was the #1 seed for that for a tournament in Derby. He forgot to enter. He could have walked to that arena in 10 minutes.
45.
Imagine forgetting to enter the event that's the closest to your house. Yeah, seen some great tournaments in Derby. I remember one in particular where Van Geuren had a good day, but was taken up by Chris Mason. And a guy called Chris Thompson from Yorkshire had a good run to the semi-finals, and eventually the tournament was won by Phil Taylor.
81.
Well, Van der Voort looking at a break back here with Whitlock on 2.98. He's got plenty of time in hand and darts in hand here as Van der Voort.
I think Whitlock is waving a little bit of the white flag in this one. He thinks this one's all over.
Vision you require 40.
It will be back on throw if Van der Voort pings tops, and he does. That's a prime shot right in the middle, right between the sticks. And Vinny has clawed this one back.
To throw first.
Yeah, that was a 13 dart breaker throw as well for Vincent van der Voort. who is very much back in business now. Great leg. This 180 and a 240 in the mix of that one.
35.
Owen Price or Brendan Dolan await the winner of this one, and they're on stage next place, so whoever does come through won't have too long to wait to find out who they'll face in round 3 tomorrow, as Whitlock posts another 180. Good value for the crowd so far today. There's been some
100.
well, plenty of drama in the opening match, and this one's just ticking over very nicely now as well.
I'll say one thing, Rob, that was a great game to start, like you say, but yesterday, great value for people watching here and at home. I thought yesterday was a
96.
fabulous day of darts, full of drama, and when I went to bed last night, I was still thinking about the shenanigans between Hannah Schneer and Keegan Brown. What a match.
Yeah, there are lots of talking points yesterday
81.
that we touched upon at the outset.
We talked earlier about Vincent van der Voort trying to get to the European Championship. Of course, Whitlock hasn't got that issue. He's on
55.
way over 20,000 points for that race, so he will be at Göttingen. A title he has won before, of course, and
140.
reached the final 2
Sorry,
other occasions. He does
170.
like that tournament. Whitlock loves a 170 also. Oh, and he clipped the flight off that one.
64.
And the last dart as well was a bit of a loose one as well.
Vision you require.
There we go, systems
45.
once again for the flight on the floor. Van der Voort, 45 to level things up.
Aim shot on the sick leg.
Yeah, the
Vincent van
cameraman
der
may
Voort.
have been expecting a
Some
13
legs,
for
Simon to
door 16.
throw
Van der
first.
Voort
Game
tops
on.
no bother.
I was expecting him to go 13 as well, because that's his usual way. But I think his previous shot at tops was so warm in the middle, he figured, well, found it now. Might as well just go back to it. What a great plan, executed well. Now, Simon Whitlock is one of those tinkerers out there, like Peter Wright. He loves to change his stems. Now, in this match,
100.
his flights have popped out of the stems more times than I can ever remember.
And it's disrupting his rhythm now as well. I think it's bothering him a little bit.
Now, he changes stems, he changes
96.
rings, crowns, anything at the top of that stem he uses to try and manipulate the weight of the stem and the actual dart. But today I think he's just got a loose
100.
one. And I don't think he wants to change it.
I mean, we've touched upon this before. I remember you highlighted this before. The amount of work that he puts into just fine-tuning everything. The attention to detail is clearly evident there for Whitlock, and we've talked about the grip on the board as well this weekend already.
100.
Well, Simon has left the James Wilson number, 165, but it's unlikely that he's going to be punished. It's a different situation that James Wilson was in against Steve Beaton.
57. Vision you require.
But if Van der
161.
Voort takes this 161 out, I will be wrong.
Well, he seems to be in a really good place here, Vincent van der Voort, right now. He's got a good tempo and a great rhythm about him. Oh, Vincent van der Voort has got a great rhythm.
Vincent van der Voort.
And he's got momentum as well. 4 legs without reply for the Dutchman.
Leg, Vincent to
The Dutch
throw
destroyer
first.
is destroying Whitlock here at the moment. Whitlock just cannot keep up. He's failing to catch his breath, and van der Voort certainly taking the breath away with that 161.
Earlier in the match, Vincent van der Voort was the baseball and Simon Whitlock was the bat. Well, they've changed places, because now Whitlock is a very
44.
large baseball and Vincent's a bigger bat. What a response. Look at that, 17-13.
Well, the 13 was a
56
break.
darts for 4 legs.
Yeah, 13 dart break and a 12 dart break. They are very impressive numbers. It's almost like he flicked a switch. I mean, let's not forget that 4th leg where van der Voort got on the board. That's the leg where
100.
Whitlock missed 3 darts at double 18. This could have been a very, very different story indeed. We've talked about turning points and the fine margins in this best of 11 format and how accentuated they are, and this is another perfect
81.
illustration.
You can see the checkup percentages very similar indeed, but it's the number on the left that's most important, the 3 and the 4. But in
93.
percentage terms, I would say that 161 is probably a 3% checkout. You'd probably get it 3 times out of 100 if you're a pro dart player, to the level of, say, Vincent van der Voort. It's the equivalent of maybe hauling a putt from 45 feet, 50 feet.
Yeah, it's a good analogy, that.
134.
Bullseye, left the bullseye here for Van der Voort. I suspect he won't go for the bullseye. I think he'll go for tops because he's been fairly effective at the top of the board so far today. Back downstairs to double 10. He had the marker there as well.
Simon, you require 130.
Will the tide change again? Because Whitlock cleverly has left one of those finishes where he has an out. There's your out. Now he needs to be perfect. Gets the 60 for the bull. For 4 each. Oh, response from Whitlock. What a game. What a day here in Austria already.
Brilliant, brilliant response from Simon Whitlock. What a match this is turning out to be. And we talked about this glut of 11 leg matches yesterday. Well, we could be on course for another one here. 6-5 in the opener, going the way of James Wilson. This one is level at 4 apiece, thanks to 2 moments of sheer brilliance. The 161 checkout by Van der Voort, 42. And then the 130 checkout on the bull for Simon Whitlock. Brilliant, brilliant stuff.
Van der Voort comes back again. This one is swaying back and forth like the pirate ship at Metroland. If you don't know what Metroland is, it's a very small indoor theme park up in Gateshead.
100.
Creation of John Hall.
Or was John Hall?
Yeah, John Hall it was. Newcastle man.
I wish he owned Newcastle again. No comment.
60.
Yeah, if you're listening, Chris Dobie.
Simon will have the adrenaline pumping right now after that 130 out. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? If you leave yourself a shot like 130 as opposed to 129, it's just a little bit easier. 131 and 130, there's a chasm between the two. 131, you've got to be perfect with all 3. With 130, you can give yourself 1 chance to miss. He missed, he hit, and he hit. It's all about leg management, and he performed that perfectly.
100 is in your require 121.
I suspect Whitlock wanted more than that. I think Van der Voort is the favourite for this leg now, especially the way he's been finishing.
There's more examples of what I was just saying. 134, got to be perfect. 2 treble 17s potentially, or even 54 for tops. Oh, look at this. Oh, so close.
Oh.
94.
Well, that would have been further evidence of the sort of standard that these two have served up. Double 12 for Van der Voort. It's another break. Well, Van der Voort
10 flag, Vincent to throw
broke
first.
for that 4-3 lead.
Game on.
That's turned into one of those games, hasn't it? There's been more breaks than the World Snooker Championship. Break, break, break. Van der Voort wants this done in this leg. Can Whitlock come back? There's every opportunity. He's creating the angle. He's going to have to switch now.
139.
That was the right call, because we have seen a few freaky bounce outs this weekend, and the last thing you want to do is have what's called the Gary Anderson triple bouncer, where all 3 land on the floor. What's he got left in the tank, Whitlock? Interesting
96.
to find out just how jet lagged he is. And maybe he's just used to jaunting across the world now.
Well,
Van der Voort is way too strong in this leg.
Yeah,
making it so hard for Whitlock.
I was just going to say, he's broken Whitlock 3 times on the bounce now. Whitlock got the break back in between, but Van der Voort just looks to be moving serenely here towards the finish line.
121.
And who knows, he may well finish off in style here once again. 121 is the target. Well,
76.
What price Whitlock pulling out the big one here, pulling out all the stops and taking us all the way once again.
Hang on to your Wiener Schnitzel if he gets this one.
I would not put it past him in the slightest. Was there a little touch on the way through?
105.
I would love to see that deflection in slow-mo. I don't know how that didn't go in, but this could well go in because Hops has been kind. Apart from one occasion, can he finish it off at the top of the shop?
Yes, he can. Vincent van der Voort with a very stylish performance to see off Simon Whitlock, who looks a little bit, well, shell-shocked after that one, in all honesty. Van der Voort, though, doing the damage. She was 3-0 down, but he got back on terms with a 13-dart break, a 12-dart break with a 161 checkout. Really put him in the ascendancy. And even though Whitlock came good again with a 130 checkout of his own, Van der Voort came good once again, and he goes through to round 3.
Entering the next round.
Yeah, that's it. The win is a win. It was a hard struggle, and probably you should have won because you was 3-0 up, had 3 darts to go, 4-0 up, but yeah, he didn't take his chances, so that's mine done.
So it was a little bit difficult at the beginning, I think. What was the problem at the beginning?
No, I didn't play well enough.
That's it. Okay, we're looking forward to see you tomorrow again. Vincent van der Voort.